So Taurus, what I'm seeing here is that in July, it looks to me as if you are very much sitting in your power. There is a real determination within you, and you are really working away at something. So I'm getting a feeling that you've got a plan which I think a lot of you have been working on for quite some time now, building this web, this foundation to a new business or a development that you've made within yourself. Maybe it was a lifestyle change, but there's something here that is really taking shape. It's starting to bring you rewards and fill up your cup. But there is a feeling here, perhaps, that in July you may find yourself getting a little bit stuck. And I think that this is due to you overthinking a situation. Now, because you're working away hard at something, you may find that success is coming to you, and that may manifest in the form of opportunities. So you may find that in July you're actually getting quite a lot of offers, which I'm seeing here in the Seven of Cups. So you may find lots of emails landing in your inbox or invites to opportunities, not necessarily in real life because of what's happening in the world at the moment, but like online opportunities. But I feel like you have to be careful, because some of these opportunities might be great, they might be fantastic. In fact, I feel like, there's definitely a good one within there. But you're making all this progress, you're so focused on what you're doing. You need to not allow anything to distract you from what you are currently doing. So you need to really think about anything that does come your way in July and really analyse it and evaluate it and decide if it is actually going to serve you. You need to really think about what are you going to get out of that opportunity? Is it a collaboration where you perhaps get, access to a new audience for, maybe you're building a YouTube channel, or maybe you're starting something online that it would benefit from you collaborating in that way, or maybe it's financial. Is it an amount of money? Is the amount of money worth the effort you'd have to put in? I think everything this month you have to really carefully think in the long term, not in the short term. That whole thing about short-term or long-term gains, where you might have an opportunity presented to you this month, Taurus, that will give you quite a good reward up front. Straight away you'll have this thing. Maybe it's an amount of money, and you could do with that amount of money right now. It would really help pay the bills or forward you in another way. But is it something perhaps that, say for example it was a sponsorship with a brand, that's something that we can all understand, but is that really in alignment with what your audience want to see? Could it alienate them, and then in the long term it would set you back 3 spaces? You need to really think about what you're doing and decide whether a short-term gain is worth the potential setback. It may be better to say no to some opportunities and to focus on the plan that you already have in place. It looks as if a lot of you are already very steadily making progress on something. Some of you may have only recently started it, but a lot of you have been working away for quite some time now, and things are paying off on their own. And I think that if you stick at what it is that you're focusing on, you have incredible power and potential in what you are doing. And I think that whatever it is that you are doing, without all these extra opportunities that may come in to distract you in July, that thing it has even more potential than any of the opportunities coming your way. So it might be that you need to blinker yourself and you need to just stay focused on what you are doing, and actually the opportunities that initially you might be seduced by them and think, oh, that's really good. They may not actually serve you as well as you think in the long run. So I would say that July is a month where you have to really think, do I need to be distracted by that? If I took 2 weeks away from what I'm currently doing to focus on this little thing, which is going to give me a few £100, is it worth doing that? Because that's taking you away from here. And if you get what you focus on. You've been focusing really well on this, a lot of you, and it's really proving, it's really working, it's really getting you to a place where results are starting to come through, hence all these opportunities. But I think it's better, it might be better, obviously you can do your own thing, but this reading is making me feel like it might be better for you to just stay focused and blinkered on the plan that you already had. Because these opportunities, they weren't in your original plan, and some of them might be nice, and you could always respond to some and say, perhaps we could do something at a later date. But I feel like July is the month where you have to just continue on with the plan that you already had. But let's look at the oracle cards that I picked to get some greater insight for July. So, let's see what we have got here. A lot of signs have been getting similar cards this month, which is interesting. So, we've got, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. We've got communication is key. We've got we, the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. We've got wisdom. Have you ever been told that you're wise beyond your years? Now is the time to call upon your inner fairy wisdom to help you with a challenge. And we've also got personal growth. As I move towards greater consciousness, I feel old thoughts and habits fall away. Like training wheels on a bike, they helped me get to where I am, but now that I can ride, I don't need those slow and crummy wheels, except when I'm making bike analogies. So, yeah, I think communication is key. Like what I was saying, opportunities may come in. You need to be clear with the communication. You need to decide a yes or a no, and you need to, if it is a no, now, don't necessarily word your response in a way that cuts them off permanently, because in the future, it might be the right time. So the way that you communicate is going to be essential in July. Really think about, like I say, opportunities that come in, and then communicate appropriately. And don't cut things off permanently, but if you feel like, if your gut feeling is like, I need to focus on what I'm doing, my plan was good, that's a distraction, it's going to take me away from what I'm doing, then that is what you need to be doing. You need to stay focused and communicate with the opportunities and keep them open, but just say it's not the right time right now, but maybe in the future we could collaborate or do this thing. I feel like that's the best way for you to find your success in July, Taurus. Also, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So, again, this is trusting in the process and not getting ahead of yourself, not rushing, not thinking that you can have what you want quicker than the universe means for you to have it. You've got to think about the long term, not the short term. This month is about staying true to the plan that you put in place and really being patient with the process. You know, you've made a lot of progress already. I can see that here, and there's just so much more growth that can occur. Just like this card is saying, personal growth. You need to allow time for that growth to happen and to expand you even further. And you know, you may even be really super proud of what you've achieved so far. I think you should be, and but that's not where it ends. You know, your story has so much further to go, and you shouldn't focus on the end goal. But there is something ahead of you that I don't think even you could have imagined. So if you do stay on the path and you keep working hard, you can really build this even bigger than you could have ever imagined. I think there's a message, of love here as well. You love what you're doing. You've got to love yourself, trust yourself. It's investing in yourself, essentially. A lot of the time with things that we do and start, especially personal businesses or side hustles or anything creative, writing a book, whatever it is, you have to invest a lot of time, a lot of yourself into something before it ever bears any fruit. And I think you know that. And I think actually you're probably one of the signs that sometimes you may be a bit stubborn to listen to advice and to maybe make the changes that you need to make in your life. But when you do realise what it is that you need to do, you are really set, like you're focused. And once you've got an idea in your head of where you're going, like you're really determined and you're gonna succeed, basically. Like you're one of those signs that you know what's involved to get you there, and you're willing to invest in yourself and put the time that is needed and required to get to that place. So I think that's really good, and you need to remember that in July. Be patient with yourself, love yourself, don't beat yourself up, because you know that you'll get there eventually. Similarly with this card, saying you're wiser beyond your years, and to call upon your inner wisdom now. I think a lot of what you need is like within yourself, and if you feel like stuck or overwhelmed at any point, you just need to take a step back and really think about what you're doing, because you do know a lot of the answers already. They may not be at the forefront of your mind, but if you dig a bit deeper within yourself, a lot of the things that perhaps you like knock you off your path, you get a little bit of a bump in the road, often it's something that you have experienced before, but perhaps it came in a different scenario. And when you think back to how you overcame something else in your life, maybe in a relationship or in another aspect of things that you've done, you'll find that you can use that inner wisdom to correct the path that you're on now, and to help you move forward and keep building your web of success.